Hello, my lovely Pisces. This is your reading for the week of December 8th, or when it resonates. It won't be for every Pisces, and it can be for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or a lot of Pisces in your chart. Now, as I was starting to work with you, I was feeling quite a lot of split energy. And the only way that I can describe it is this. While I feel as though many of you can be extremely adventurous in taking chances on doing things, on relationships, on trying something new, on changing things up, there is still underlying that for many of you a fear, almost an expected mistrust. It's interesting. Expected mistrust that can lead to not necessarily a sense of paranoia, although taken to the extreme it could, but just that sense of not really being surprised if things don't work out, or there's something else here and I'm not sure exactly what it is. Can you give it to me? That fear that somehow there is an instability in your life that does not matter what choices you make. There's always that quality of not being sure you can trust things the way they are. And part of what this is about, they're saying, is that there can, for many of you, be just a real undervaluing of yourselves, not realizing how important you are to people and how important you've become to people. So sometimes you'll move through a situation kind of like a nice wind, and you'll leave debris behind you because you haven't really grasped how really important you can be to people, how much you can enrich their lives with your humor, your charm, your abilities, because you can have many creative abilities that come out in many different ways. And you undervalue a lot of that, some of you. Okay, obviously not everybody, but my feeling in this is that it is some consistent quality that happens a lot with Pisces. And I think part of that, what they're showing me now is, of course, as a water sign, there's that ever-changing current underneath you, which is why you can kind of, and I mean, really, it's the fish, right? You're not a crab, and you're not a scorpion, you're a fish. So there is a natural kind of movement for you towards exploring new things. And in the process of that, sometimes what can happen is you will make choices quickly without really understanding necessarily the kind of attachments you're creating with people, what the expectations might be with people, and it might cause you to move on quickly because you don't realize that. Now, what does that mean? Why is this important, Spirit? Why are we talking about this right now? Okay. Because what they're offering me is a feeling of kind of sadness. Now, for some of you, it will be just downright grief, obviously, because we're all losing people, and that's just a part of life. But it feels to me as though this is much more of an emotional sadness about things in your life that you've lost, things in your life that you've left behind, not even necessarily thinking about the specifics, but experiencing a quality of looking back and feeling almost an emptiness. Now, what you're being asked to do is allow yourself to look at some of the situations from your past where there is grief, where there is sadness, where there is a sense of perhaps having been left or having been treated badly or having treated others in a way where in retrospect maybe you wish you hadn't. You know, where were there times when you didn't respond in a friendship in a way that allowed it to continue in a way that would have been good for you? When were you careless about how you handled your emotions with people? And they're saying this not as a way to criticize, because it's something that we all do as a process of how we learn to negotiate emotion. But what they're saying is this actually puts you back into a place of power. This is where it puts you into an understanding of yourself, because you can't be your own hero if you don't know who you are. So understanding what your role was in creating whatever this atmosphere now of loss, of emptiness, of sadness, of grief, what was your role in that? Who were you in those moments? What was motivating those decisions or those choices? And it may not be like a big study. I must write, I must write, I must write, and write and write and write. It might be moments of reflection where you just look at that and go, oh gosh, yes, I so didn't believe in myself in that moment, and therefore I didn't think somebody could feel that way about me, or whatever. It might be something that simple. But what it's doing is it's kind of, they're showing me it's literally like you're spreading out the sand in front of you, and you're picking up the sand and you're going through it like this. And it's really, it makes sense because it's sand, it's the beach, it's beautiful. It's really literally allowing you to just experiment with checking out wherever the pockets of sadness are, wherever the pockets of loss are, wherever the pockets of grief and betrayal and fear, to be able to look at those in a way where you can make peace with them, where you can come to ground zero and open to your emotions with a clear lens, with the ability to allow, and I'm really literally seeing it like this beautiful, beautiful, clear, clean ocean, and it's just coming in, and it's literally like it's blowing through your heart chakra and clearing it all away. And I want that for you, Pisces, because you deserve to be able to live your emotions in a way that open your heart to a gentleness in yourself, that opens your heart to a consciousness about your gifts, your abilities, and your innate value, regardless of what's happened, what hasn't happened, what you've done, what you haven't done. You have such great value and love, and you are an expression of something spiritual and divine, however you manifest it in your life. And this is what you're being asked to take a look at, to be your own hero in this. Okay? I hear a siren in the background. I don't know if that's a message. Maybe it won't show up. I hope it doesn't. Anyway, my dears, I'm going to leave you with that, and with great love, and with great wish for your self-love. Okay, Pisces?